elder to my mother, brothers, and they were staying in Ahmednagar near the ST stand, you know. There is a so they were staying there in a place called Akbar Press. It was a cotton pressing factory, and my grandfather, my mother's father, was the engineer in that factory, and he had an engineer, he was an engineer, and he was the manager of the press, and there he had settled down. He had come from Navsari, and he had his family there, big family. In those times, there were 5, 6, 7 people in one family. So, my brothers, and he was very strict with the children. They had to live very honestly. He was also very honest and straightforward. Everything that Baba wanted, he was doing just naturally. He was a very saintly person. And his children, he had trained like that. So they had to go for walk, they had to do exercises, they had to do work with their own hands, no relying on servants, nothing. And it was a very happy household. And so my 2 brothers used to go for, my 2 uncles, they used to go for long walks. At that time, Mehrabad was not there. It was called Arangaon. Arangaon means forest village. It was just forest. And there was a road going through that to the village of Arangaon. So they would go different roads. Ahmednagar was a quiet little town. So one day we were walking along the Dhol road, you know, from Ahmednagar to Dhol. There is a road which goes through the village of Arangaon. So when they approached Arangaon, they saw a group of people and a person wearing a white sadra. So we wear a cotton sadra. And he was wearing that. There was a Rooney there on the roadside. And a group of people were there around him. And he was talking to them. Baba was speaking there. This was in 1923 or so. 1920. So as they were passing by, they stopped and they said, who is this person? They had group had newly arrived. So Baba was talking to the group, and when he seen them, he beckoned to them to come. So they got drawn there. He's calling. But they went, and he was giving some discourse about God or something spiritual, and they felt so much happy, and their hearts became so entranced with this person that they were taken aback. Who is this person? And Baba was talking and said, "Sit and listen." And then they got very, very happy there. When after some time, the discourse was finished, they got up to leave. So Baba said, "Keep coming. It's a nice place." And that is how the first contact was done. And they went back, they felt something very different coming in his presence. You have no idea how his presence was.
Tell them what question Baba asked him. Baba asked him how many brothers and sisters are there.
I tell them, I don't know the details.
Yeah, my grandfather, who was one of the brothers at the time, Homi Mama was my grandfather. He said that when they after the talk was finished, Baba, you know, in those how Parsis ask each other, what is your family? How many brothers and sisters are you? So he asked them. He said, how many brothers and sisters are you? And they said, Baba, we are 6 brothers and 5 brothers and 6 sisters, something like that. They were quite large family. And he said, no, from today, you're 6 brothers because I'm your 6th brother. And from that time, Baba would go to Akbar Press, treat it as his home, you know, come any time of the day or night. And he would go by himself into the kitchen, open up the pinjra. If there was any leftover food, he would eat that. So finally, and he would also serve it to the people he brought with him. So finally, my grand aunt who was staying there, she decided that it's best to keep some food ready for Baba in case he comes. They never knew when he would come. But my great grandfather, who was the one who was the engineer there, my grandfather used to say that when Baba first visited, he was sitting on the veranda at the back. Because Baba would always come through the small gate. Most of the time he never came through the big gate. And he was sitting on the veranda and he was reading from the Parsi book of prayers. And when he saw Baba walking, he clapped. He didn't stop because they don't stop saying their prayers. He clapped and called everybody. And then finished his prayers and said to them, look, today Lord Zoroaster has come to our house. So even my great-grandfather recognized Baba for who he was. You know, he was a very devout Zoroastrian, but he loved Baba very much. This is what my grandfather used to say.
So then my uncles, they wrote to my mother saying, look, we have come across a person who is like Zoroaster. So when your children get vacation, come and have a look. And my mother was very spiritually minded. So she was reading about the saints and all that. And when she got this letter, she felt great urge to go there. As soon as there was a vacation, Eruch was in school at that time. He was about 20 years.
25.
9 years.
25 was 16. 9 years. He was 9 years.
Eruch was 9 years old.
9.
Small kid.
But Merwan, before that, Baba came to your house at Nagpur in
That
Maryland.
was much later.
Much later.
It was much later.
So that's how he came there.
So when you had the children had the school vacation, at that time there were only 3. Merwan was not born.
So they went there, and when Mama saw Baba, she once fell in love with him. And he also received her very lovingly. My father was also there, and it was a very happy getting together.
It was the first meeting
Yeah, that was the first.
at
At
Merabad.
Merabad.
At Merabad. There is
That was
one.
when Eruch fell down from the top.
Yeah. Eruch fell down and Baba called him.
Called him, yes. Because
Baba used his handkerchief
Yeah.
and he tied and said that now
How loving he is.
you are caught
Eruch felt.
in my handkerchief.
My mother didn't care about me, my father didn't look at me. But here is someone who's taking such great care. He said he fell down, he was crying, he fell down from the carriage, and they just ran to see Baba and forgot about him. So he was crying with his hand in their ear, and Baba called the child, made him sit on his lap, and took the ash from the dhuni, applied it to the bleeding wound there, and tied a bandage to it. And then lots of prasad had come from people. So he was distributing prasad. So he gave big handful to the child. And he said, not only Baba was loving, but he was very generous also.
Just feeding him.
Huh?
He fed me.
Yeah, feeding me. I've never, anybody has fed me like this. And he was doing a lot of things to make the child feel that he is more than a father and mother to him. And that's exactly what he is. He is more of father and mother to us than even our own parents. So, because he is the Lord of love. So, love evokes love in you. That's how my family was got into fun. Then followed everything else. So that's the story in short.
That happened in this year, that first meeting?
1923.
23.
No,
no.
25.
25.
After Baba.
Wait, latter part.
1923,
Baba was silent
the
at that
first
time.
contact with the
Baba was
uncle.
silent at that time.
1925, then contact with the family.
The Jessawalla. That was a Sakhas. Jessawalla.
Does anybody want to ask him anything, Subhat? Trivedi.
How is Eruch related to you?
This is brother.
He's my elder brother.
His brother.
He was my elder brother.
He will always be your elder brother. There's no question.
Dhan was
His cousin.
cousin,
My mother's sister.
mother's sister. She was very lovely.
Eruch was born in 1916. I was born in 1930. So that's the difference.
14 years.
14 years. I had one sister who was elder to me by 11 years. Her name was Mani. When we joined the ashram, there was a Baba's sister Mani. So since she was Mani and my sister was Mani, so Baba said
And there was a
that,
third money.
and there was a third Mani from Navsari. So Baba says there will be a conflict. When I called money, 3 monies will come. So Baba left his sister's name as Mani. The woman from Navsari, she named her as Mansari. And since my sister had come from Nagpur, Baba named her as Manpur.
Manpur. And she was called Manu for sure.
Then when we joined the ashram, and a few days later, Baba's Mera was there. She said, Baba, this name Manpur is quite long. Can you shorten it? So Baba says, make it Manu. So since then, we all called her Manu. We forgot the name of Mani. Even I used to call her Manu. So she used to say that I was Mani. So Baba changed the I to you. So it is a nice thing that he has changed from me to him.
I to you.
That's what Manu used to say. Now come on, it's getting very late. So that's our story.